Which one is your slides? 11. So not this. This one. Okay, I'll go sit and rest. Go ahead.
Today we will expand the experience of AI security in terms of conflicts that people are exposed to in their daily life.
By the way, there is a microphone.
Firstly, let me introduce my group members. We are 张思琪、黄佳琪、曾诗晴和董丽芳。Let's talk about it. With the development of information technologies, their applications have penetrated into people's everyday life, and at the same time, people are increasingly concerned about the security problems encountered in their usage or anything during their everyday life. And research has shown that people, it can be safe and users for IS and are more aware of security, which would help IS team or some related people to improve their security control performance, and they are also an important resource for IS security. And however, in the real world, users tend to have a broader scope of security issues they encounter than what the research team or research community defined as security. And the experience of the security issues is referred to as the security experience of people. As a result of the different scope of defined security, users often experience conflicting problems. And we will illustrate that from three perspectives. Firstly, the users' attitudes toward their encounters with IS security, and secondly, users' expectation and disappointment about it. Finally, how aspects of online and offline worlds come together to provide security as a whole. Next, my group member will present the detail of each.
And now started with the topic of users' attitude towards security systems. Based on research article, we can see that neutral to negative attitudes dominated the end-user experience of security technologies. And the first is frustration. Age and experience are related to the attitude towards security. Young people have been exposed to computers since childhood and often have more experience in using computer systems. They will report some problems caused by security technology. For example, the security system hinder the completion of work. The computer always have a security permission system. When opening some new website, pop-up reminders or the page cannot be jumped. Need to confirm or release the permission, which will become a potential interference, then affecting the efficiency of work. So many people will choose to close it. And in daily activities, some mobile phone software security configurations require the submission of a password, and if the password is wrong, it will lead to lock. So it will bring inconvenience to the users and cause frustration. Then we turn to a pragmatic perspective. Users make a security trade-off, and they choose to meet immediate needs with reasonable balance of potential dangers. They may choose to use technologies that are known to be unsafe, and therefore require systems to be flexible and translucent. And then there is a sense of fatality in individuals' encounters with technology. Because when people use the internet, they may encounter the risk of being hacked and personal information leakage. The hackers' technical level seems to always be ahead, so that people feel the lack of security protection, and it certainly contributes to frustration. So the security needs to be vigilant at all times. Then welcome to the next one.
Then the next part is expectations of security. Before I start, I would introduce the word security. From the observation, there are two definitions about the security. The first is that people who, based on the real-life experience, think that security is a barrier akin to a gate or a locked door. Actually, the security is keep things out, which means the various threats which are being kept out become co-constructed as the common entities against which security protects. Following these two definitions, one reason about why users' attitudes are always negative is the expectations of security is a barrier. It means that respondents consistently expanded the scope of discussions to include other related issues, although they focus on the security needs and the technologies at the first time. What's more, the conventional users not only regard the natural class, such as viruses and unsolicited emails, as the same problem, but also think of the same technologies as providing solutions. For example, the firewalls are both as the technology to keep out the unwelcome visitors as well as the unwelcome emails. And according to this, there are three immediate implications of this observation, which reveal the gap between theoretic security and effective security. The first is expectations failures, which means that a security solution being only a partial solution to security problems as experienced by end users. And oppositely, the second is mistaken assumptions. Technology deployed to solve one problem may be mistakenly interpreted as providing protection against others. And at the end is that focus on one aspect of the problem, however, blending users to other security issues.
So after talking about attitudes towards security and expectations of that, now we come to the combination of online and offline security. How do users conceptualize security as a combination of online and offline elements? It always brings confusion and disappointments. The relationship between that two is quite complex and important.
Here are two examples of a relationship between online and offline. The first one is the potential leakage of information between online and offline settings. At first, researchers expected people may relate international security problems to internet-based fraud, such as forging email or identity security. However, for lots of subjects, they are more concerned about a threat offline, especially personal security. Because of inadvertent information disclosure online, people worry about encountering stalkers offline, like someone may get your phone number, your address, your workplace, and follow you in the real world. That was quite terrifying, and this concern is more common among women. And the second kind of relationship is marked by occasions where people must deal with the physical manifestations of their computer network. When we talk about computer network, it usually means lots of physical equipment. And for wireless network technologies, it's a collection of tangible elements and intangible elements. Wired or point-to-point networks usually has physical security and accessibility, but now wireless networks make the actual infrastructure intangible, which means you can't recognize it in reality. There is a case. A user faced a network printer that refused to accept print jobs. It turned out he was connected through his neighbor's access point, but not his own. So we can see it's hard to relate online experience to offline manifestations due to the intangibility of network infrastructure. So for everyday users, security is not just an online matter, but also related to physical world. It's quite important to combine online and offline security.
That's the three perspectives of the complexity problems of IS security. And do anyone have some question? Oh, thank you.
Anything interesting? I like the part where expectations can be as a barrier, actually. It's quite, actually this is why like most of our decisions were wrong, because we expect something and we find something else. And this happens a lot with technology, because especially as end users, because we don't know the mechanism behind the IT, so we expect the IT to be perfect and protect us and like not having our information breached and so on. So this is why we let our guards down, as they say. Thank you very much, girls. Okay, next question. So what are the practices of security and how do they differ from our experiences of security? Which group? I was thinking. Yeah.
Hello everyone, this is Group 12. Our topic is, what are the practices of security and how do they differ from our experience of security? To answer this question, first we need to understand what experiences and practices of security are. What? let's move on part 1. Well, users are always confused about correct information security solution because users have different views on the security problems they encounter, which is broader than what researchers define. So now we'll introduce what security problem users will experience. There are 3 aspects. The first point is there are differences in different people's attitude towards safety. The most obvious is that users' age affects the attitude towards security technology because younger people have been exposed to the internet longer and they are more confident in handling security issues. In addition, people with different personality also have different attitudes towards security issues. Some users will bother in using potential dangerous devices, while other users will carefully consider needs and security risk. Finally, there are also an interesting point that some users believe hackers are always one step ahead of everything else, so they simply don't want to think about security issues anymore. And the second experience of security is the expectation and appointments that arise when people view the concept of security as a broader protective barrier. There is because users have a broader definition of security than they think. So they expect these technologies to provide broader protection. But this misunderstanding can also create a disappointing experience. Therefore, security solutions that only solve part of the problem are not expected to users. In addition, technology deployed to solve one problem may be misunderstood as also solving other problems. Finally, the focus on barriers may divert attention from other channels. And the third type of experience comes from users not knowing how some online security issues are affected by the online world. Here are 2 examples. First, online security issues may leak personal information, leading to offline threats. In addition, online security issues are also related to offline network equipment. For example, a secure network connection cannot be established, possibly because the correct network cable is not connected. All of the above are the actual security that users may experience. Therefore, we can see that security experience problem comes from various aspects. Now let's welcome my mate Weiqi to introduce the practice of security.
Hello everyone. Now I will begin with part 2, the practice of security. The first section is delegating security. This section explores the delegation of security responsibilities in daily work. It identifies 4 primary modes of delegation. First, delegation to technology. Second, delegation to individuals. Third, delegation to organizations. Fourth, delegation to institutions. There's a temporal aspect to delegation. Once responsibility is delegated, it tends to become invisible and rarely revisited. Over time, individuals or groups to whom security was delegated might change or disappear, yet still be referenced as guarantors of security. This leads to a situation where security decisions made in the past might be forgotten or overlooked in daily work practices, even though they continue to function correctly. The second section is secure actions. In exploring how individuals manage online security, diverse strategies emerge. People navigate security protocols in unconventional ways, showcasing a spectrum of approaches to technological security. 2 predominant strategies were identified: utilizing institutional methods like marking emails for defense and employing contextual obscurity to mask content within shared contexts. Additionally, the use of media switching, shifting from email to more trusted mediums like telephones or for sensitive topics, demonstrated a perceived higher security level due to the phone's potential lower vulnerability and its ephemeral nature, harder to record and transmit conversations compared to electronic text. Despite current security systems sometimes conflicting with work practices, Instances were found where security measures seamlessly integrated into workflows, exemplified by utilizing access control in shared directories for confidential file handling, circumventing the constraints of traditional email. And now let's go next part by Yecong.
Security is not only a technical concern, but also a social and spiritual one. How many people manage security in their daily practice using a combination of physical, social, and online strategies is also important. To this end, we propose two further security practice: holistic security management and managing identity. Holistic security management involves leveraging physical space to safeguard online data. To take a very easy example, in the office, position your computer screen away from the first point of entry into your office can prevent other people from seeing sensitive information. This strategy can be particularly useful for those who work with confidential data and frequently interact with others in the office. Managing identity is another important aspect of security practice. It manifests itself in two ways: the production of identity and the interpretation of identity. The production of identity refers to how we present ourselves online. Many people use multiple virtual identities and partial identities to control their visibility and traceability. For example, many people using multiple emails and online personas when they surf the internet. The interpretation of identity refers to how we recognize and trust the identities from others. Some entities that appear to be individuals are actually collectives, and some entities that appear to be collectives are actually individuals. This creates difficulties and risk in our security decisions and solutions. Therefore, we need to better understand and design the security system and accommodate the complexity and the diversity of identities.
Okay, let's move to the part 3, the difference between practice of security and experience of security. In my opinion, is the two totally different concepts that have no relationship between the two, and I decided to divide it into 3 dimensions and just focus on contradictions between them. The dimension 1, the contradiction between expecting an overall security barrier and using a specific security strategies. As for the user's experience, they expect to use a security technology that protects against multiple risks at once, like virus, spam, the things like this, just similar to a locked door. Firewalls, for example, are designed not only to keep out unwelcome visitors, but also unwelcome email messages. As for the practice, users tend to adopt a security strategy that serves only a single purpose. Examples include using legal disclaimers in emails and switching communication media based on perceived security levels. These tactics may not involve traditional security tools and cannot protect against multiple cyber threats at once. The dimension 2, the contradiction between negative attitudes towards security technology and positive security practice. Users show negative attitudes toward a wide range of security technologies, such as frustration and futility. Frustration is triggered by the inconvenience that security technologies bring to everyday life. Just like there are times when users have to turn off their firewalls in order to access their files, or they have to go to the service center to reset their password when the user's cell phone is accidentally restarted. And the futility is triggered by the fact that a variety of potential threats, like hackers, are always at the forefront of technology, resulting in the need for users to continually fight against the new attacks. The dimension 3, despite the negative attitudes in experience, people are still actively taking practical steps to deal with security. Examples include strict identity management, use of security protocols, utilizing the layout of the physical space to protect online data, and so on. Dimension 3 is the contradiction between the tendency to rely on technology and just rely on the practice of delegating. Users expect comprehensive security protection through the domains. But in the practice, they prefer to rely on the individuals, the, organization, or institution. Just delegate their responsibility to them, and not rely on themselves. Delegation of responsibility is relatively less reliable than relying on technology, because the user loses control over security, and the person responsible for security may just unload their responsible. So that's all. Does anyone have questions?
why the physical arrangements of space can be seen as strategy for managing online security. Who's presenting? Yeah. Yes. Nice. Okay, morning everyone. We are group 15 and today our topic is why the physical arrangement of space can be seen as a strategy for managing online security. First, let me introduce my group member, Sun Jingnan, Zhang Shiqi, Huang Siqi, Ye Zichen, and Long Wen. Okay, let's start now. So, with the development of the digital area, the field of the network security emerged as a highly valuable research topic. This presentation will predominantly delve into the physical arrangement of space within the network security. So what connections exist between them? I think the physical arrangement encompasses the comprehensive safeguarding of hardware that sustains the operation of network information systems, including the environment, equipment, and storage media. It serves as a fundamental assurance for the continuous functioning of network systems. So back to the topic, why the physical arrangement of space can be seen as a strategy for managing online security. My group will gradually answer this question. Now I will pass the floor to Ye Zichen to provide a detailed illustration of the cases mentioned in the material.
Thanks for the introduction by Jingnan. Let's move on to the next part, case overview. In this case, the workers need to manipulate confidential data and frequently interact with office visitors. So she arranges these spaces in the office to protect the data. The first step is face the computer screen away from the office entrance, and the visitor could not see the sensitive information on the screen. The second is use the colored folder system to store unfinished physical documents. Different colors represent different actions required, which allows her to see the state of work and know where various materials were stored, but other people don't know. The third arrangement is use desk to divide the office into public and private section. Visitors could only act in the public part so that the sensitive information in the computer could be protected. Because of the worker needs to interact frequently with other people in reality, this makes the relationship between online security and physical space close and complex. For example, visitors may gaze casually at a computer screen that might contain the emails of boss or confidential company data and some strategy documents. So how to keep computers and files private is where physical space arrangements can play a role in the online information security. So that covers everything in my brief case overview. Let's welcome Shiqin to introduce the next part.
Physical space arrangements should be automated or driven by manual processes to secure information. It has many manifestations. I will talk about physical space placement and its role in three manifestations. The first is the screen placement. People will always face the computer screen towards themselves, and the screen will be oriented as far away from another people as possible. If another people come to communicate, they can avoid seeing the information on the screen. The second is the folder system, where people often create different folders on their computer to store the same type of documents, so that they are not directly visible to another people. Additionally, a password is required to open the folder, so that another people cannot open the document in the first place. They can also name the folders in their own special way, so that another people can't recognize the type of document. The last one is the office layout. People often divided the office into two parts, the meeting area and the private area. The meeting area is at the entrance of the office, and is where visitors can sit. The private area, on the other hand, is behind the office desk, which can make it more difficult for visitors to get up from their guest seats and walk around the desk to get to the back of the office. Physical space arrangement is a key strategy for information security through these manifestations. Let's move to the next part.
Okay, let me introduce you guys social conventions reflected in physical space design. What are social conventions? Let's look at its definition. The definition of social conventions refers to the established norms and ways of interaction formed by individuals in a specific social environment. This includes conventional rules regarding behavior, conduct, and spatial utilization, encompassing aspects of verbal and non-verbal actions. Let's look at some specific examples of social conventions. The first one is that people should knock on the door before entering an office. The second one is that people shouldn't pick their nose in public. And the crucial social convention used in this article is that people don't get up from the guest seats and walk around the desk into the back part of the office. What does it mean? Look at this picture, which clearly shows the layout strategy of the woman's office in that article. It's mentioned in the article that she had arranged her office into two distinct sections. On entering the office, the first section was where office visitors would see. All the spaces were in this part of the office, and there was a barrier in the form of a desk between the public visiting part of the office and the second her private part of the office. Well, it's theoretically possible for people who want to access the back half of the office to do so. Social conventions prevent people from standing up from their visitor seats and walking around the desk to access the back half of the office, effectively preventing visitors from accessing the data stored in that area. So arranging the physical space isn't a separate thing. It's all mixed up with our social conventions. By integrating social conventions into physical space, we can better manage online security. Let's move to the next part.
Okay, thanks. Now, I divided conclusion part into two aspects. As you can see, one is from the importance point of view, and which can answer the question raised in the first slide. It contains 4 points. One is complement. The first is complements digital measures, and it supplements digital security for added protection. The second is mitigate unauthorized access and prevents unauthorized access to critical hardware and information. The third is visual eavesdropping prevention, shields against visual eavesdropping, ensuring data privacy. The fourth is deter physical tampering, acts as a deterrent, reducing the risk of interference with hardware. And the other aspects is from the perspective of prevalence and effectiveness in practice, and a summary of the previous person's content and more. And it has 5 points. The first is strategic server placement. Widespread use of strategic server placement enhances security. Second, controlled access to server rooms. Controlled access to server rooms effectively prevents tampering. Third, security zones implementation. Integrating physical and digital measures forms a proven comprehensive defense. The fourth, comprehensive defense. The third is common implementation of security zones contributes to overall security. And the fifth, the use of social convention and spatial arrangements extend beyond furniture manipulation, leveraging social conventions in a market space, indicating a distinct security expertise linked to holistic security solutions in daily practice. And in summary, both physical and online security is crucial in the digital age, requiring a balanced and integrated strategy, encouraging comprehensive and practical thinking in security policy design ensures a resilient framework aligned with real-world operational practice. That's all. Thanks. Want a break? Okay. Try to get back as soon as possible, like not more than 7 minutes perhaps, because we still have a lot. And there is one group left, right, for presenting. Okay, so who's the last group? Okay, good, you're here.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our presentation. Today, our group will focus on the importance of users' awareness and education in information security strategies. First of all, let me introduce our group members. My name is Bo Jie, and she is Han Xu. This is Wang Qian, and he is Ming Hao. Okay, let's move on to the first point of this issue. The balance of information sharing and protection. When it involves information sharing and protection, users realize that the two aspects are not isolated, but supporting each other. They have taken serious measures to balance this sharing and protection. For example, it is pointed out in the paper that when users discuss, they may change the medium of information transmission, such as switching from the emails to the telephone communication, or using the encrypted emails methods. This behavior shows integrity and security of information to protect information while using information sharing. The formation of this consciousness shows that users attach great importance to the information security. They realize that information sharing must be complementary with information protection and needs to be weighed in actual operations. They actively take the measures to ensure that insensitive information is not to be leaked, which reflects their emphasis on confidentiality and integrity during the information transmission process. Okay, my part is finished. Let's move to the next part. Thank you.
Thanks, Bojie. In the second part, I will focus on the perspective of behavior. Actually, every action we take in our digital life will influence our information security. And user awareness plays an important role in shaping our behavior when we face this privacy problem. So let's just set an easy example. If you recognize somebody is picking at your mobile phone screen, you will adjust that screen to prevent others from picking at your some personal information or sensitive data. And this small action could show your awareness of information protection. And besides, I can take another example. When you're registering your account on your social media, the users tend to set stringent privacy controls on social media, and they are able to identify and avoid phishing attacks. This awareness could ensure a safer online experience for ourselves and others. In conclusion, by educating users and enhancing their awareness of the information security, they could be a more responsible digital citizens and create a community of cautious individuals, ensuring effective protections and the safety of transmission. Okay, let's move to the next part.
Okay, thanks, Yang Xu. Firstly, understanding security technology. User education is crucial for your understanding and use of security technology. Let's imagine you are an ordinary user who might find facing complex security configurations. We need you to understand the visibility of security configuration and apply these technologies in your day-to-day work. Imagine receiving an email about updating your password. User education ensures you understand the importance of recognizing the secret alerts and the potential risks of clicking on suspicious links. Secondly, simplified configuration. It's not just about mathematical encryption concepts, it's about presenting security technology in a way that's easy to understand. For instance, security configurations should offer an intuitive interface and straightforward guidelines, making you to comprehend and operate without being puzzled by technical jargon and concepts. Consider configuring your device settings to enhance security. Simplified configurations mean having clear options like enable two-factor authentication rather than using through complex technical terms. Thirdly, enhancing awareness and confidence. The emphasis on user visibility and understanding indicates our recognition of the importance of security education. This education not only heightens your awareness of security but also empowers you to tackle security concerns and technical issues with confidence. After security education, you can confidently differentiate between secure and unsecured connections, making wise choices when connecting to public Wi-Fi. This awareness protects your data from potential threats. Finally, visualizing user-friendly security. Visualize a dashboard displaying the security status of your accounts. User-friendly interfaces provide clear visuals such as the green secure icon ensures you can access and manage your security settings. Therefore, the visualization of security technology and user-friendliness plays a vital role in nurturing your safety awareness and skills. Now let's move on to the next part.
Okay, thank you, Wang Tian. Now I'm going to talk about the last part. Our last section is about the collaborative nature of security awareness. In the current digitalization, our behavior is no longer limited to personal aspects, but also closely related to the surrounding environment and other people we interact with. When we talk about security awareness, we can not only pay attention to the impact of personal behavior, but also consider how our interaction with others affect the overall information security. First of all, users realize that the impact of personal behavior on information security is not only personal security. They began to realize that even if they did take security measures, once others interacted with similar security awareness and actions, the security of the entire information ecosystem would be threatened and changed. Therefore, users have begun to attach importance to the interaction between personal behavior and security of the entire group. Secondly, users began to realize the fact that the security is resulting from multi-party efforts. Through sharing best practices and security skills, they promote the improvement of security awareness of the entire community. This sharing is not only for personal interests, but also for the security and stability of the overall information environment. Users have now, for example, learned that only through the collaboration and joint efforts with their colleagues of different parties can we truly ensure the security of the information and data. Thus, it is significant that people eventually understand their security behavior is not only about individuals, but also closely connected with interactions and collaborations with others. Therefore, they actively participate in security practice in order to improve the safety awareness and action of the entire group. It is finally realized that only through cooperation and collaboration can we create a more secure and reliable information environment. When it comes to information security, we concentrate to create a safer digital environment today. By underlining user awareness and education, we can make everyone a part of the digital life and make information protection become our common sense. And here comes our reference list, and thank you for your time. Now we're open to any further questions to discuss. Thank you.
I have given an example. Yeah. Let me repeat it. Such as switching switching from emails to the telephone communication or using the encrypted email method. Yeah.
So using like the two-factor authenticator, for example, this is like one example. Any other examples? Slides, better than mine. Okay, so let's go back to the lecture. So actually, you guys talked about a lot of important things, important aspects, such as, you know, the difference between the online and offline security measures, like what are our expectations, how do we interpret security in different ways. But you know, this course is about strategy, right? So let's dig deeper a little bit about the strategy. Oh, I put just some funny memes. This is Donald Trump hacked. They hacked into his account like a few years ago when he was president. And actually he claimed that it was hacked, so I'm not sure. But he posted a tweet about, you know, singing a song. You can see the tweet and the lyrics. So yeah, after that he deleted that and said that his account was hacked. Yeah, perhaps it's true. Yes. Like if there's anything wrong, oh, I was hacked, right? Just a good excuse. Some hackers are funny, but you know, not all hackers are nice. So you have to be careful. Okay, so today lecture outline, we will talk about the strategic importance of information security in organizations, of course. We will talk about security and business alignment. I know that you have seen the word alignment in many places and you hate it, but it's a very important topic. Types of security measures, not all types, but we will pick some of the most famous ones. Emerging technologies and strategic impact on security, and security governance and policy development. Also, we won't dig deeper into policy, but we will just give an overview of these. It won't be long, don't worry. So, why do we need security? The main reason is because technology is literally everywhere in our whole life. Right now, we cannot move it without our phones, right? Not only our phones, we cannot be disconnected to the internet. Like, being online is our daily life right now. And you cannot go off the grid, otherwise it would be just scary. So, this is like the importance of security in organizations. First of all, it's a foundation of trust, because you can trust the company you're dealing with your own personal information. Regulatory compliance, especially if you are listed in, if you are, for example, if you do some quality controls or take some quality certificates for your organization, security is one aspect of these regulations. Enabling digital transformation. Sometimes you have to implement provides a competitive advantage. These are some more. Okay, we talked about trust. I don't know why I mentioned it again. Ensuring operational continuity, which is very important because there are many organizations cannot continue if their data was stolen. Give you any information, any example of that, right? Banks, right? Banks are the most important, like the most famous example. If the data were stolen, like we cannot continue because we cannot do any transaction. Their cards were stolen, for example, their information and so on. This reminds me. When I was doing my PhD project, I was working in three emergency departments, and they were connecting, like they were talking to each other in an ICT system. So the problem is, when I was collecting the data there was some huge cyber attack in the whole country, and they stole like 10,000 patient records or something. And of course, like my hospitals were impacted, so they shut down the project. They shut down the whole way of reporting. They shut down the internet basically on the whole hospitals. And of course, I thought my life is ruined then. It was for a couple of months, but then they connected again. Regardless, imagine that people stealing the patient's information. Well, eventually it turns out that they wanted the prime minister's health data on the patients. So you can imagine the scale of threats that organization can get. And someone might ask, like, why don't they just steal the prime minister's health data? Why 10,000, right? But you know, it's very easy, like, yes, cover up, right? Covering your crime with something else, like, just to make it like, oh, it just happened to be with the prime minister who did this data, but it was actually targeted. They never told us actually, but they caught the person in a few days. Either ways, now the black market of data sets, it's very famous. Like, selling data sets on black markets is like, wow, especially outside of China. I know, like, the reason I'm telling you this because China has actually very easy regulations in terms of data privacy. Like accessing data sets with the large population, accessing data sets is just easy. This is why I envy my Chinese colleagues. Like, they always have access to data. Like, how? I have to go through hell just to get some data sets, some good data sets. But yes, this is why, like, they can sell like 10,000. Imagine the cost of patient report on the black market. This is really a lot of money. So imagine this is not a motivation to hack, by the way. Be careful. But it's just to be careful, like, this is how like crimes, like cyber crimes happening. So you have to be careful with everything. Just the other day I received an email from the British Library that my account was stolen. Yeah. Huh? I wish. Oh, just to let you know that your data was among the accounts were stolen. Please don't use the same password for other accounts. This is the message. In addition, they're going to convert it personally, you know. But this is like common practice. Like, try not to use the same password for many places at the same time. Okay, I talked a lot about this one, so let's move on a little bit. So security and business alignment. You know, business alignment in IT, remember when we talked about business goals and how we need to implement any processes and technology just to ensure that they match our expectations, they match our work processes. Like, for example, like imagine putting a security guard, not a security guard, imagine putting a card reader on some of the offices and not giving all employees access. Unless they don't have to work there. Okay, regular communication between security and business units. Of course, because if there is no communication between them, they won't figure out what the other one is working on and how they match and align their processes. So there are types of security measures. I won't dig deeper into those because your colleagues had mentioned most of them. So physical security, we talked about that. Endpoint security, which is usually software that is implemented just to prevent any endpoint hacking or access, such as the antiviruses. You all know antiviruses. Cloud security. Now that cloud is very popular, there should be some security measures, and believe me, not all clouds are working well. Network security, which is more about like the whole network security, such as firewalls. Firewalls is not per software. Firewalls is for the whole network. Remember when I told you there are many steps for hackers to go to access your data? So, for example, the firewall is the main gate. So if you access that, they can go to the other ones. Data security measures such as the encryption and data masking. We talked about encryption, application security. The application security, it depends on the application itself. Not all applications are secure. Identity and access management. So, for example, when you use facial recognition, for example, it means that the camera can detect your face, right? So this is one of the identity and access management. Any questions so far? Okay. We talked about delegation. Your colleagues talked about delegation of security because, you don't have to keep stressing yourself about your security. Just delegate it to software, to a person, to an organization, and so on. Remember the example last week when you had to outsource the security software? Outsource offshore or anything? This is just, it's also delegation, Okay. We talked, I had this question, is delegating security same as outsourcing it? We talked about it last time, so I think it's fine. Okay, so let's talk a little bit, what time is it? Oh, okay, we still have some time, good. Emerging technologies and strategic impact. Now this is very important because there are many new innovations and we still have no clue or very few ideas on how to make them secure. Let's talk about AI, for example. Can anyone tell me an example on why AI may have a security issue? Because AI is working alone, right?
So, we have worked with numbers
we cannot dig deeper in each one of them because we don't have time. So let's talk about governance a little bit. You guys actually already talked a bit. So wherever you go, wherever you work from now on, you will receive, like if you find a job, you will receive an email from HR to do some training, which you will hate, I guarantee you. But mostly, like everyone right now in organizations have to go under training in this field. And like employees usually don't like that. It's just to protect the organization's reputation, their quality control, their procedures, and so on. So these frameworks should be in place for all organizations. The policy life cycle. So the main reason we have a life cycle because people, as you have said, that expectations can be varied, right? So people expect that once we implement the technology measures, the security measures, and that's it. But unfortunately, because like innovations can be updated, measures will be updated, hackers' knowledge will be updated. So you have to keep renewing your knowledge about these measures. Cultural integration, continuous improvement. We talked about continuous improvement. Cultural integration. So most likely, because these measures should be enforced on all employees, we will talk about the misuse of these. After this lecture, the one after 11. Leadership and support. I think this is like self-explanatory. Any question? Okay, so it's an easy class, right? Any more questions? Okay, so the main takeaway, I would say regards to all of this, be careful. It's like the main takeaway, like try to be proactive as much as possible and be careful when you are in the work environment. Because if you misuse any type of information systems, you will be liable eventually during your work, in your work processes. Okay, so next week we will talk about privacy. You will find some similarities between privacy and security, but like things are connected eventually. It will be also an easy class, so don't worry. Okay, that's all if you don't have any other questions. Yes? Many organizations hire hackers. They hire hackers in order to hack their system to next week. Oh, thank you.